Welcome to Songs That Save Me with Billie Eilish.
Hi, I'm Billie Eilish.
Aged just 22, Billie's meteoric rise to the top has been nothing short of sensational. 3 #1 albums, 9 Grammys, 5 Brits, 2 Golden Globes and 2 Academy Awards under her belt. Billie is back with another #1 album.
It's going to be a bunch of songs that have really impacted my life and me as an artist.
From inspiring anthems to personal favourites, Billie takes us behind the scenes of her musical influences.
And this is Songs That Saved Me on Radio 1.
I wanted to kick off talking about this little old album that you've released. And I'd imagine, just like when you first got into music, there was a catalyst, there was something that broke the glass ceiling in a way.
Yes.
For this album, what was that? And I'm not necessarily talking about a song, just what was the moment?
The moment? It actually was a song. It was a song called The Greatest. We had written a bunch of stuff already, but it was not, like, it just wasn't going smoothly. We were very uninspired and very just second-guessing ourselves and completely just didn't know if we had it in us yet anymore. And then we wrote The Greatest, and that was kind of like the door being opened to the rest of the album, like flowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank God.
I mean, what an amazing song. It's huge. The way you crescendo at the end.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, when I listened to it for the first time, my immediate thought was that you cried at the end of it. And then when we chatted last time, you confirmed that for us, that you did have a little sob at the end of it. And I can imagine that it wasn't just maybe what you were singing about or talking about in that song, but probably the relief of breaking that glass ceiling and finding the key to the lock.
For sure. It was heavy. It's emotional. I just sang that song for the first time in front of a crowd, and I'm not like a big crier, but at the end I shed a couple tears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Were you suffering from imposter syndrome up until that point, do you think?
I've been suffering from that for a very long time. Yes.
Was it more intense than ever?
Kind of, yeah. I think it was less even imposter syndrome and more just like, what am I even doing with my life? And it was the first time that I felt very unsure of that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's so funny. I found so many videos from making the album where Finneas and I had so many long conversations about how I was feeling and what we were both feeling, and how I just was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I have no idea what I want or where I want to go or any idea at all. And that's when like the music came in and saved me, really. And it's amazing what music can do.
How intense did it get then? Like trying to find that lock, or that key rather, to unpick the lock. Did it get really intense for both of you at points?
Got really intense, yeah. We had a couple like pretty intense arguments and just like intense conversations. It's really, really weird actually to think about how this album is done and out and people love it, because like love it. Like people like I never would have thought it would I don't know. It's just been the most insane, surreal experience. But I say this because it's crazy to see that now and think about how completely the opposite it felt when we were making it, and how we were very, very nervous and really didn't think we were making anything good. I remember saying to Finneas, like, is this really bad? Like, are we making a really bad album or what?
You've made your best album yet.
Thank you.
I personally think
Thank
anyway.
you very
and
much.
I think you probably feel like that as well.
I do.
Good.
I do.
Let's have a song that saved you, shall we?
Let's do it.
Where do you want to kick things off? Maybe from the start. Maybe like the first song that you felt like
Okay.
had an impact on you.
So there really isn't one. There's a lot. But to kind of narrow it down, I guess, one that was always playing in the car when I was a little girl was like Complicated by Avril Lavigne. I love that song. That was just like always playing in the car. I just remember like chill out, it's all been done before.
Chill out, it's all been done before.
Something about that, I don't know, I just felt like she knew something I didn't. I don't know.
I think those kinds of songs are really interesting, those entry point songs. Those songs that actually, maybe on the surface, lots of people look back at and go, cringe, oh my God, I can't believe I listened to that. But actually, those
Not with
songs are
this one.
so important.
So important.
So important. You know, like listening to Avril Lavigne could be your gateway to listen to metal music,
Right.
right?
Right.
And it opens the whole world for you, and it's a great first choice, Complicated.
Thanks.
And you talking about those intense moments with you and Finneas in the studio. Did you guys feel like you bonded closer with this record?
I mean, I feel like we've been so close for so long that we can't.
Was it even
we can't-
possible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't really get any closer. But Phineas has really been like, he always ends up being the person to say the thing that makes me change my mind about something.
And he's
Or-
the only person that can do that. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
he kind of is.
Yeah.
I will say though that what was kind of the most scary about this album process was that for the first time, we almost switched roles in that way. Like usually he was more of like the big brother and the responsible, like we need to get this done because we're going to do this. And Billy, we just have to, you know, push through it because we're going to get this. And this time it was really interesting feeling like that. So it was an interesting juxtaposition and really scary because it was completely different than we'd ever experienced.
Well, the music is the thing that saved you.
That's
And that's
right.
what we're doing right now. Another
That's
choice.
right. Another choice. It's hard to even pinpoint why. This is the first thing I thought of when I heard that question. I think specifically the title of the song was one of my first inspirations on song titles and album titles being sentences and being like having nothing to do with the song or even being a lyric or something. I really have always loved that, and I think that this is like one of my first moments of like, oh, the song title can be something that's beautiful on its own, you know, that could be like its own tattoo or something that has nothing to do with anything. And I loved that. And then I also think I learned a lot about like vocal production on this song and actual production. I remember this was like the song that made me want to produce.
You want to intro it?
Yeah, this is Take the Blame So I Don't Have To by Spooky Black.
Let's talk songs specifically, Billy, on this record, Hit Me Hard and Soft. Where should we start? Maybe let's go skinny, actually, shall we?
Okay.
Let's go with the opener.
Let's do it.
And you referred to being 21 on there, turning 21.
Right.
And I maybe get the sense from the way that you're talking on that track that you get to 21 and it wasn't all that maybe you thought it was going to be.
Fell in love for the first time with a friend, it's a good sign. Feeling off when I feel fine. 21 took a lifetime. People say I look happy just because I got skinny. But the old me is still me, and maybe the real me, and I think she's pretty.
I mean, it's like a play on words, right? 21 took a lifetime. Because that is my whole lifetime when I turned 21. And then also, it really felt like that. It really felt like I've lived so many lives up until that age. And yeah, I think like, it's really funny. Adulthood seems like a crazy, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, well, when I'm an adult, everything's going to make sense. And everything's going to be easier and like,
It's the magic age, isn't it?
yeah, you're like, it's going to be so easy and I'm going to be so grown up. And what's been really creepy to find out is like every adult feels like they did when they were young. Like they just,
You know nothing.
you don't know anything. And like, I don't know. The idea that like when I'm really old, I'm going to be an old person, but I'm going to feel like myself. And that's super weird,
What, being like you are now, but really wrinkly.
but really wrinkly. It's very strange, but it's beautiful. Age is really beautiful.
I saw the video that Finneas shared of you guys working out the lunch riff on the
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
Damn, so desert rock, isn't it?
I know. It's cool.
Which I
right?
really, really loved about it. And I loved that is that kind of how that song started?
It's hard to even remember. I think it started with the little, you know, the little beat. And it's kind of fun, though, to think about, like, the making of a song, you kind of can't even remember. Like, it kind of just happened. But that was one of the first steps, was Finneas took out the electric guitar and started doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
And did you have the words for lunch at that point all sorted
I'm
out?
pretty sure, yeah. I think like the we had the hook. This was like, I think it was like October 2022, and we had that little beat, and then he started playing around with the guitar, and I just had like da, 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 and then something about I could eat something for lunch, and that's all I had. And I didn't know, it wasn't going to be anything like other than I was just like, oh yeah, I could eat that for lunch, and then turned into more.
So what were some of the other choices than what it
I'm
turned
trying
out
to
to be?
remember. I think it was I could eat that shit for lunch once. It's not much better, but
No.
but it didn't mean the same thing. Like it was more going to be like a metaphor for like, oh, I love doing this one thing. I could eat it for lunch, and then it turned into.
I could eat that girl for lunch. Yeah, she dances on my tongue. Tastes like she might be the one.
And when Finneas saw the words, or kind of the finishing final lyrics for the song, did he kind of feel like, wow, I gotta match
know,
the energy? Do you know what I mean?
Everybody wants to know. Well, it's funny. Like Finneas and my relationship and collaborating is so about the art and not about like the fact that we're like siblings. So it's like whatever we're writing about, we're not like, ew, how could you say that in front of me? That's disgusting. It's very much like, no, we're like writing a script together. We're just like writing together. And we're also so close and honest about stuff. And, he sees the potential in lyrics instead of like, ew, my sister just said that. It's like, he's like, oh, that's a very cool lyric.
I was thinking about it from the point of like, wow, I mean, Billy's kind of set the kind of bar here with this song. So I've got to kind of respond from my end a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and he absolutely did.
He did.
Yeah, with the production.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you're totally right.
For sure.
Yeah, he came in and, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, the hips are
he
swaying
went
with
so
that
hard
guitar,
on
aren't
it.
they?
Yeah.
They're moving.
He killed it with the guitar. And then I remember going home one time, and then he just sent me that little ending part where it's like it says like she might be the one. Oh, no. Da, 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 da. And then I just remember being like, you did this without me? But I feel like he felt like he had to. He was like, no, I gotta like compete with the fun like lyrics. And I mean, he also wrote the lyrics with me, but yeah, he came in strong on the production.
It's a great song.
Thanks.
What's another great song that saved you?
Well, I was thinking about the question of what's the song that got you into like wanting to make music. And it's a very clear answer, which is a song called Runaway by Aurora, which was the moment that I decided I wanted to make music. I was like sitting on my bed, like the edge of my bed. I always was sitting on the edge of my bed when I'd find new music. I used to just watch music videos just like all day, no matter what I don't know who they were. I just like look up music videos and find random ones that I didn't know anything about. And I saw the thumbnail for one called Runaway by Aurora, and I didn't know anything about it. And I just clicked on it, and I just remember sitting there. I was 12, and I was sitting there just like, wow, this is so cool. And I remember the second verse, she's like wearing this, she just looks so like an elf. She's like a little fairy in the woods, and she's like in the snow, and her hair is just like little tiny, I don't know, she just had such a cool look to her. And I remember there was this little sound in the second verse. It was like this sound. I don't even know how to describe it. She's like, I was painting a picture. And I just remember she does this like little head thing, and she like rolls her eyes during that. And I just remember that moment just being like, I have to do this. I need to do that. That is the coolest thing ever.
I can't take it anymore. I was painting a picture. The picture was a painting of you and
I'm kind of starting to get a picture of atmosphere, of energy being probably the most important thing that you look for when listening and making music.
Correct.
It's not about the intricacies, the technicalities of it. It's about the way it makes you feel.
100%. 100%.
And that is a really hard thing to communicate to some people sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I'll hear a song and I'm like, I can hear how this is a good song, or I can hear how, this people like this song, or it's catchy, or the lyrics or whatever. But if it doesn't make you feel that like connection, I think that's how art should do.
And it's got to be something that pushes you, doesn't it? Something
Yeah.
that takes you to a place that you've never been before. I think you were talking about The Greatest earlier on. It kind of vocally took you to a place that you've never ever been to before.
Yeah.
Musically.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people talk about Birds of a Feather as their favourite song as well off this album. Why do you think people are talking about Birds of a Feather as their favourite?
Birds of a feather, we should stick together. I know I said I'd never think I wasn't better alone. Can't change the weather, might not be forever, but if it's forever.
I've never made a song like Birds of a Feather. I think it's more poppy than I've ever gone. I think like the lyrics are actually happy. Well, not so happy.
Yeah.
It's giving happy, but it's not actually. But I think the feel of that song is like very different. I remember playing like a demo of it for a couple people when I first made it, and they were like, "Whoa, I've never heard you do this before," and I thought it was cool in that way.
Does it have a close affiliation to L'amour de ma vie then?
In terms of what?
Well, you were talking about it being happy, but not really happy.
Right. It's got like a feeling of happiness, but it's not.
I just wondered if they kind of felt connected. You start L'amour de ma
I feel
vie
that.
singing
L'amour is like
you're on top of the world, and then it bum comes crashing down.
Yeah. L'amour is more of like it's a little taunting song kind of. And then I think Birds is more of a cry for help. Birds is more of like a please God don't leave me kind of thing. And then L'amour is like
The realization.
right.
You moved on immediately, but I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes, but I need to confess I told you a lie when I said you were the love of my life.
I think that's actually one of my favorite bits about the album.
Oh yeah.
Bum, bum,
The bum,
the
bum,
drama.
But I wish you the best for the rest of your life.
I really, really love those little intricate bits that you throw in.
Thanks. What's funny about that one is that was like that I didn't even mean to record that. I was like doing vocals, and I think I started the track to record earlier than I needed to because you need a little second to come in. And I think I just did that before I started singing the chorus, and then I was gonna cut it out, and then Finneas was like, no, that's super cute. And then it was really quiet, and then I was like, wait, this should be like a moment, so I turned it up.
No, I loved it.
But it was like kind of an accident.
We get another song.
Let's get another song.
Let's do it.
Let's do a song I would play when given the aux at a party or wherever. And I would say Sexy Boy by Air, which is like...
The riff on this thing.
Oh, God.
This feels like it could have inspired Lunch, maybe.
Yeah? Ooh, sick. I mean, this song is so good. I love Air, first of all. And this song is just like... I don't care who I'm with, like, this one lands. You know what I mean?
And let's get the final two bangers from you.
All right, final two. This one is a song that I would love to play my younger self. And I actually chose a song that came out in 2015 when I was 13, but I didn't know it. And I only found it last year, which is stupid because everybody knows this song, but it's 4th of July by Sufjan Stevens. And I just know I would have eaten it up when I was a kid.
Well, you do enough talk, my little hawk. Why do you cry? Tell me, what did you learn from the Tillamook burn or the 4th of July? We're all gonna die.
Billie, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for stopping by on Radio 1's New Music Show. One final song from you, one final pick on songs that saved me.
One final pick is going to be a song I wish I had written, which is going to be Julia by the Beatles. The Beatles are like my biggest inspiration and the main thing that was in my ears when I was a child and for my youth. And this song is like just incredible. So